Hello everybody. In the current affairs this week, the week ended 16th of March 2025. This week there were two important data points which were released in respect of the Indian economy. The first was the Consumer Price Index CPI inflation. The CPI inflation for the month of February was 3.61%. This is lower by 40 basis point, which is 0.4%, than what the RBI is comfortable with, which is the rate of 4% inflation annually in the country. The second data point was Index of Industrial Production, IIP number. The IIP for the month of January 2025 was at the rate of 5%, while as the rate at which the IIP grew in December 24 was 3.5%. On the international front, there is a growing consensus in the US that the US economy would be entering into a recession. This is on account of the policy which is pursued by the new Trump administration. Moreover, not just these policies, but the uncertainties surrounding these policies. The strength of the US dollar is slowly getting contained. Vis-a-vis the Indian rupee appreciated mildly by 16 paisa this week and ended at 86 rupees and 94 paisa. As far as the top tech companies of the US are concerned, which is the Magnificent Seven, they are also facing challenges in terms of their growth and in terms of their business exposure globally. The sales of Tesla in China is crushing down by 50%. In the month of February, the preference for the Tesla car in China declined so very significantly that there was a major crash in the sales of Tesla. Once upon a time, Tesla car was one of the most sought for car in China. Today, the Chinese EV cars are preferred by the Chinese for their superior technology and much lower price. When it comes to Apple, it is expected that this year the sales of Apple gadgets in China are set to decline by 2%. Nvidia is facing challenge on account of cheaper technology on artificial intelligence from the Chinese. In this kind of a scenario, let us see the FIIs, the foreign institutional investors who had left India significantly by selling Indian stocks and buying stocks of the US market, which was going up very sharply, and the US dollar, which was appreciating very strongly, would still remain in the US or would like to look at India once again and start buying in the Indian stock markets. As far as the Indian stock market is concerned, Nifty 50 was down by 0.7%, Nifty mid cap was down by around 2%, and Nifty small cap was down by around 3.5%. FIIs continued to be modest sellers in India to the extent of 5,000 crores, and DIIs continued to be buyers to the extent of around 5,000 crores. The Nifty IT index suffered the most and was down by around 4.5%. The precious metals in India appreciated. Gold was up by around 1%, silver was up by around 1.5%, and this week gold once again touched the $3,000 an ounce mark in the international markets. The US markets declined by around 2.5% on the Nasdaq and around 2% on the S&P 500. for the reasons which I have been discussing. That is all for this week. Thank you.